1 year.
The base tree.
Yep.
1 to 4. Last Epoch. 8. It's not down. Yeah, but
What's up, poser?
yes. This week in action.
Not a year.
Another year older.
Could be something.
Talk to the developers.
Are you playing with my emotions?
Let's get sad and then.
That's not what they did here. When's the money going?
What other horror stories can come with this?
We love Tencent.
I like that intro. That was a pretty good intro, Mr. Guilty.
Well, thank you.
Very nice. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Action Podcast 52. My name is Aaron, owner and operator of the YouTube channel Action RPG, and maybe you could tell I don't sound as stuffed up. I'm not coughing every 6 seconds. My man cold has kind of gone away. I got a little couple tummy problems, but that's just, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So you just got to man up and get through it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 1 year extravaganza. We have been doing this podcast for 52 weeks, which just sounds crazy. With me, as always, is two of my friends, leaders, the people that truly run the channel, Daft and Guilty. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hey guys.
Hey yo!
How's that? Yeah, that was an okay hey yo. You kind of missed you missed the beginning part. You like it kind of
Did I? Or did it clip out?
It kind of clipped. Yeah. You got a little bit. Hello everyone, and of course we have another stellar show. Now you're probably Aaron, what in the heck's on the screen right now? Well, I was trying to think what do I put up as a little recap talking about this year? And I was like, well, I do have a playlist of all of our podcasts. I was like, oh, that's like kind of a decent backdrop. You could see them all here listed in order. Guilty, did you think we were going to make it 1 year?
I didn't think about that at all. And it just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daft?
No, I think in around 6 months I said, how are we still doing this? And I was going through all the technical issues back in those days. So for me now, a year full circle, it's kind of cool.
I will say, I thought that gif of like the guy, the bigger guy lifts up his keyboard and smashes his CRT monitor, and that video's been on forever, like since the dawn of the internet. I always felt like that was Daft right before we're about to go live. And it's like, Daft, I can't hear you. Or your mic sounds like crap. It's just.
Oh, man.
Good old times.
It's fun to look back and I would almost want to hear do a montage. Maybe do a montage of every 3 months quality, lighting, everybody's sound, mics, and I don't know. But now it's still crazy to do, but it's less crazy.
It does feel like it's gotten more natural. It's gotten easier. It used to be like, I'm trying to set up, I don't know what I'm doing. And now it's like, oh, yeah, I got it. Rich, Eway, Exatheus. Who's that? Muggsy? Hello. Hello. Eway's got a look. What's up, Phelan?
What did you think, Aaron, about getting a year? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a fairly honest person. I did not think we would make it a year. I don't know. I just thought, it's really easy for like, oh, something comes up in Guilty's life. Something comes up in Daft's life. Something comes up, like, why are we investing all this time? Is it worth it? What's the return? And ultimately, Wednesday night becoming like, man, it's going to be another long Wednesday night turned into like, I love Wednesday night. So much fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it's turned into something that I enjoy. If we were just doing it just us three talking, I would still enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Because that's how it started. I think we did 15 or so?
Yeah.
Just
15 audio only.
Yeah. So those are the
then we switched to live. Then we switched to video. And then it's only been maybe the last, 10? Maybe less, maybe the last 8. We've done the extra screen so we could talk through everything with the community as well.
Yeah, I think it's less than 8.
I think it might be 8. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But yeah,
evolving.
Constantly evolving. We are eventually going to do the live post. Currently not set up for it, but will be set up for it.
Yeah.
That's the plan. I'm going to have Streamlabs OBS for Twitch, and I'm going to run regular OBS for YouTube, and we're going to switch and stream live for Patreons the bonus hour on YouTube, and then that'll be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So that is the current plan. Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about down memory lane? My best memory is Daft being pissed off. That is my most fond memory. That's not very nice. My most fond memory is just the great conversations we've had. Sorry, that's what I should be saying.
I think one of the better for the channel over the last year was Steve and Mike. What was it? Swifty? Was it Nifty? Nifty?
Nifty. Isn't it
Nifty?
Yeah, Nifty, the artist that can draw better than I can and much quicker. On the fly. I mean, that was cool. Those have been fun ones. Some of the stuff we've done in the Patreon have been really fun. For instance, Daft and I did a breakdown. It was one of the episodes that was just Daft and I, and it was like 2.5 hours, and we were doing who would play characters in a Diablo movie.
Right.
Yeah,
the whole segue.
Yeah. We went on a very large segue. We were like, Johnny Depp should play this person. Ed Norton should play this person. That's actually worth listening to. There's some good ideas in there.
Yeah.
My favorite right now is chat. Wait, are Daft lose his temper? ? No way.
It happens.
It does happen. There's a couple things that if it happens, just get out of my way.
Wheels fall off the wagon.
The wheels fall off the wagon. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to our first segment. Now, I like showing off the homepage for this game because it is free publicity for my Twitch and YouTube channel. And of course, that is Last Epoch Early Access Action RPG. We worked together to come up with this title and genre for the website. And, I just thought it would be good. That didn't happen. That's not true.
It's not really true at all.
No, it's not true at all. And what we're going to be talking about first is something that dropped today. Here comes Aaron's armor. I know, right? Oh, man, I wish I could drop my armor. That might be one where, once it's finalized, it might be just I just figured. You know where I'm going with this.
If Aaron gets it on day one, there's going to be major shenanigans. They're going to be like, oh, that was given to him by the devs.
Right? This is little. Okay, we're going to start with something little. 11th Hour Games logo update. And I know everyone's like, dude, we don't care about the logo.
So fancy.
We care about trade. We care about masteries. We care about bug fixes. We care about server and network. I get it.
Those are all good things.
I get it. But this is 11th Hour Games news. It's news that the game creator, Judd, who he's game director, made the decision to post this. Are you ready? Check it out.
Yeah. Let's
I actually like.
Astounding.
I feel like I like
Astounding.
the old one better.
I like this one better.
I think the
'cause
old
it's
one was
cleaner.
fine.
The old one's a bit.
So
too-
this is old. Okay.
It's fine.
This is old.
Yeah,
Why
that's
change it?
old.
It
That's
wasn't
an old one.
broken. Let's look at the new one. Oh, squigglies.
This one's got-
Ooh.
the EHG with the kind
Oh.
of like shield looking.
So the idea
thing.
is, yeah,
Or like a
EHG, but the H is also ones for 11. For 11th hour.
Yes,
You get it?
Yeah, it's clever, but
it's. I like it. It's cleaner.
I don't know. It kind of looks like more cartoony. Like the other one
Well-
felt more grown up.
the other one looked fine. This, if you just have the symbol on its own, it's fine. You don't have to have the 11th hour games next to it.
But who would know what this is?
Not a person that doesn't play this.
Not
game.
anybody.
They soul.
No, it's more design centric than.
Like when you look
legibility,
at
for sure.
grinding gear games, like you'd be like, oh, you could read it that it
Right.
says grinding gear games. Like, I don't know.
Denali's like, the new logo is great and all, but you already had a logo, but you don't have a finished game.
That's different people though.
Maybe pay attention to the work.
That could be just. That could be just.
It's like how many
yeah.
devs and effort went into building the new logo?
Who
Put
did
them
the
They
towards
probably hired a graphic designer.
put them towards
counted for
server
doing the font?
stability. Yeah.
who did the font for the game? Aaron. Jack.
Actually, the
Judd.
font for the game was made by Judd.
So I'm
That's
probably
in-game font.
that's probably his work. I'm just gonna push that he probably had a lot to do with that.
I want to be
Maybe
clear
seems to
that
be into the
I haven't
fonts
even read this.
I haven't even.
Maybe it says that he made it.
yeah,
Maybe it does. I don't know.
I don't know.
Simulation for nothing.
Rick said
His
it,
font's pretty good though. We did a font too, and it, you've got to put a lot of work into it. There's lots you have to do.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I'm reading right now. Guilty. You could tell
Okay.
everyone what you had for breakfast. You don't eat breakfast.
So,
Daft, what did you
I
have for
don't eat
breakfast?
I had 2 eggs and some sausage.
What do you put on your eggs?
That's what I had for lunch.
They're just over easy, salt and pepper,
Mm.
and then they kind of smash them and they ooze out a little bit.
Uh.
Not like uncooked, but just kind of.
So this is the logo that will be present on merchandise. It'll be across all platforms. It'll be in his home,
So
reminding of his underdog roots.
you remember when Steve was on with us, and Daft and I actually still haven't told you.
Mm.
You were away, and we were speaking with Steve, and under his
Yeah.
shirt, the shirt he was wearing was this logo.
Oh, so he knew.
Yes.
And we knew, and we
we-
didn't tell you because it's funny.
Really funny. Ha ha ha. I feel like if they axed the 11th hour games writing part, but then made the EHG with the 11H more pronounced, and it was just like a center symbol. No?
Well, they can take that
You hear what I'm saying?
and then just move it around now and use it. But yeah, I can see what you're talking about. There's plenty of ways you could, design that. This has the symbol and it's separated from the word. So now they can kind of separate them in logos, like on their designs. They can put the
Right.
EHG.
Denali,
separate.
I'm not angry they got a new logo. I just wonder why anyone who plays the game should care. Well, because
Flag.
because it's the
I'm
game.
going to
Uh,
ask them for a beanie with that symbol on it.
All we concern
yeah.
all we concern are Warlock when, Falconeer when. That's what I said. I like the original logo. It looks a bit more gothic. That is for sure true.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's more
cares about
gothic.
the
Keep
logo.
this symbol
We
and
want
make it more
Jafar.
gothic. We want Jafar. Yes.
Jafar
I still-
question mark. The theming of the Warlock, one of the
The
last
theming of the
masteries, will be like Jafar, the bad guy from Aladdin.
That's
He's gonna be a
their
mesmer.
words.
Does he get an Iago bird with him? He needs an Iago bird,
He for sure needs that.
and they need to go and Gilbert Gottfried. They need to like piece together things he said and make the dialogue out of that.
That's what they should do.
Maybe.
The new logo will work
Disney would.
great when they port to mobile. Oh, I should have read that before I said it. Okay. Because it hurt my heart. Just a couple comments. Let's just see what anybody's saying about the darn logo, and then we'll move on. I get it. It's a logo. It looks great. Amazing design.
We can talk so much about Jafar, but the logo, meh.
For me, the old logo was better. Too much cartoonish. It's literally word for word what I said.
So they can change the actual aesthetic of it and keep the same symbol.
It does look much better with the purple background. Prefer the old one. Sorry. Heartbroken. No idea.
Did think the original was fine. I don't know.
It's a general.
No.
It's okay or
awesome.
Yeah.
Looks spicy. I agree. The previous logo packing more punch. Looks awesome. All right, mixed bag.
I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's just I don't know why it matters.
Yeah, logo.
They could have just changed the logo and we would have noticed and just been like, and moved on.
Could have.
Yeah, logo. That's so much more important than making the game stable for 4 players. Okay, we're done with the logo. I get it.
Thank you, Mr. Wrath.
Blah 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 blah. Moving on to our next segment. I've been getting asked over and over again how long Event 2 will be
7
going
days.
for, and when will Event 3 be? Okay. Now, the current event is February 2nd to... Can I click on it? We'll make it too big. No, now I screwed it up. February 2nd to
Touching
February 12th. So you still have 4 days.
4
4
days.
days.
To count today for the current event. Okay. And then you got to wait 11 days. But come February 23rd, this is going to be the open beta weekend. And that means that even if you do not own the game, this is the friends and family, the significant other, if you haven't purchased it, if you have been waiting, if it's, I don't know, all the hoopla, this is going to be a, hey, we get it. You've been waiting for a long time. Here's 3 free days where you could download the game without purchasing it. Try it. And then hopefully purchase it. hopefully grab it come March 9th. What's up, Naked America? Hello. So that will be the last event. And then March 9th, we have the multiplayer launch. And it's crazy to say we are a month
Yep.
away.
Right around the corner.
And I got to say, I feel saddened. I feel
Why?
sad.
Why?
You don't know why?
Wolcen's about to release Chapter 4.
I feel sad because I'm going to have to rebuild my stash again. So it's
Told you
like
not to do it the first time.
my old stash was almost a thing of beauty. My new current stash in CT, I've like redesigned it. I've got everything where I want it. And then I was just thinking the other day, like, and I'm going to have to do it
This guy.
again. I'm going to have to rebind all the set items and all the uniques. It's going to be a new start.
It takes like less than a week to fill up your stash again. Let's be real. It
With
does.
stuff that you could use on other characters, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just junk.
Yeah.
Let's face it, most of the stuff I pick up is junk.
You build, like, I'll probably start with a Necro as the league starter because it's the easiest class to just start with crap gear. And then build up from that point and decide what, depending on what I get. Oh, let's try a fancy rogue. Let's, jump around after that.
Dude,
So that's
what if
probably my
it's
plan.
single player? Oh, you want to play? Get into the CT. Reset. March 9th, reset. Cycle 1, reset. I don't like the sound of that. No.
Hopefully the cycles are long.
You
4
know what?
months.
I'm not opposed to the long cycle that Inquisitor has. I like that.
Yeah, you don't have to like jam it in.
But let's face it, Inquisitor is a slower game than Last Epoch.
Very different, yeah. I'll say that.
Hunter.
I don't know, Aaron.
I
Are
quit
you
single
looking
player
forward to it?
before I found my NE4 LP. Guilty just found a 4 LP. Am I looking forward to
did.
Cycle 1?
Just cycles.
Yeah.
I am not looking forward to cycles if the game doesn't have trade. So I do.
Well, we think they will.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I mean, I think they will. But and what's your ideal like flip time? 4 months, 5 months?
I think I like 3 cycles a year, so 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
I feel like that feels good. What's PoE at right now?
There
Is
you go,
it 4?
Mr. Skeezy.
Is it 4? Does PoE do 4 leagues?
I don't know.
4 leagues a year at this point, or is it
Sure,
3?
Yeah, there's every
plenty
3
of people
months.
play.
Pretty
Is it
sure
3
it's every
months?
3 months, right?
I just want it to be value added. I want cycle 1 to be like not new uniques or new MTX shop or new portals or any of that crap. I want it to be like in the monolith on every single island, there's going to be an alternative tree that you could go down, and down that alternative tree is like a new map with new enemies, with a new objective, like an actual mechanic with trade.
So what you have up on your screen right now, not to, I just noticed something, but Judd goes by Mox in public.
Yeah.
That's that Magic the Gathering coming out of him.
Yeah, he goes by Mox.
That's awesome. I wonder, at this point, he probably does have like all the original Moxes.
Wrath. I'm so excited to play Rune Master. Oh, wait. You could play that at
Aaron
1.0.
wastes so much time on stash tab organization for the reset, makes me cringe. You too?
I think he's just saying
cringe buddies.
Well, it has to be organized if I want to find stuff. I know. Why do I do that? Why?
You would have already had like moved up and hit.
I'd already, instead
100.
of level 91 Necro, I'd have a level 95.
Much higher than that, probably.
Well, the Denali's asking about dungeons integrating as well as monos into the actual game, so it makes more sense. And they're kind of separate. There is no real perfect time to do them. Just depends on your comfort level. You could go in pretty early for the monos. You could do dungeons to skip content, at least to jump levels, and leave the boss, get a bunch of purple items.
So this is my actual fear for cycles, is instead of like large system mechanics that are in ways game changing, it's going to be like a new dungeon. That's my fear. And then that dungeon just becomes permanent. And then it's like the new mechanic is this new dungeon, and every dungeon has a new mechanic. Like, I don't want that. I'm really, and I know there's going to be more dungeons added.
Well, that could certainly be a thing they do for a cycle.
Every cycle there's a new dungeon, and every cycle there's a new pla, and every cycle there's a new mini boss, right? I don't know. Like, that's...
I mean, they could do any of that stuff, and it'd be fine.
Mechanics, typically you're going to like it if it's just not the same thing over and over. That could get redundant. You fall into where Wolcen starts doing their end game and they just rename it something else and slightly change it.
The most boring one was having to follow the thing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's like
in Wolcen.
Yeah.
Follow the thing, kill the stuff. Follow the thing, kill the.
Yeah, I don't. That's the worst one on the war table. I don't even know what it's called. I think I've clicked on it a few times. I was like, this is the boringest, worst, slowest one.
Avoiding that, you know, what else? I mean, the whole reason they do cycles is so you can add MTX, you can add in mechanics, you restart the game over and over so the players don't get super powerful, you know, et cetera, at least in the online league. You know, there's always the offline league where you can just sit there and be a hobbit and play forever.
It's just, again, and I know there's actually not many people that agree with me, but I feel like part of a cycle is a economy reset, right? So like the people that have gathered a ton, or the people that have exploited that bug, or the people that have
in games with trade.
That's what I'm saying. So if the game doesn't actually have a trade mechanic where, man, I'm really trying to get that 3LP Dragonflame Edict and it costs X amount and they're too expensive, you know, I don't know. Like, I feel like if there's none of that, then I'm actually okay with longer cycles. I'm okay with longer cycles. I feel like some
well,
of
you
the
would have to have a longer cycle because the drop rates are not.
yeah, I feel like the fun of it is
Great.
like, you know, just because it's a modern game. Like I'm playing Torchlight Infinite. I need 400 FE to get this X item, and that's going to take me 3 weeks, 4 weeks to farm. And I know a lot of people
honestly don't think that a lot of people are going to get bored trying to grind if they keep the drop rates as low as they are. If we're looking for like 3 LP and 4 LP items.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's just higher in the game.
to get those,
probably how they
the
have it.
Eway,
most realistic thing is some type of trade.
Eway says, Aaron, cycle, there will be a new key that doesn't stack that I have to make a damn thing for in my organized stash. I just want them to be like, hey, we got a couple surprises. I know these aren't huge for 090. One, you're going to be able to stack keys. Two, you're going to be able to reset your passives instead of doing them one at a time. Three, you're going to be able to change the...
Moxman said he would do it.
I know.
Yeah.
Three, you're going to be able to change the sizing of the UI so you can have it to your liking.
Yes.
Four, we're going to have different mouse... You know, just like there's so much of those little quality of life things that would just be really, really nice to have.
I agree.
Daff, do you want longer cycles?
I'd be happy with like 4 months.
That's what I said. Yeah.
That's reasonable. That's a reasonable cycle.
Like for me, the way I play a character, depending on how long a character lasts, I generally start characters over. So that part's not so bad. It's just I like building up a stash for a while and kind of like playing the whole, ooh, I'm going to start a little guy with everything at first level. So you have all your stuff just sitting in your inventory. Then you put it on as you level. That's fun. That's a little OP feeling, but that's part of, at least for me, that's part of the cycle. There's like the early character grinding and getting all the cool stuff and getting excited about things that you get, possibly trading some stuff with your friends, and then resetting back when you kind of get bored with your, starter character. It's just kind of feels kind of boring. You switch it up. So that's probably what I'll do in 4 months. Give you a few characters. I mean, for me, it's probably 5 or 6.
I do like, and again, it's been a really long time, so it's not surprising that obviously a lot of the new uniques that they have added into the game are build around uniques. Like all of them do something different that you can make a new build around. And I think that's what's fun. It's like there's a new unique for a build that I like, that I want to test, and there's a new mechanic, so there's something different to do. So it's like my build feels different, so I'm playing in a different way, and there's something new and fun to do.
And the uniques are getting more interesting, I've noticed.
Art looks good. They're more, they're just
interesting. Like
this unique triggers Wraith, which triggers Inferno Shade. And the more Inferno Shades, or the more Wraiths you have, the more Inferno Shade. Damn it. Yeah, it's like it's like
just
stacking.
Becoming a little more complex.
Yeah, you're stacking skills on top of skills.
I like going into the skill tree and noticing the changes. Like in Lich, they removed, I don't remember, the necro damage skill at the bottom and replaced it with, I think, 2 or 3 different skills.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you're not going to do that anymore. So where are you going to go for that familiar build? You know,
right? They did that.
No longer exists. Yeah,
the electric mage.
Eway says every new cycle comes brand new uniques is a must. I agree.
Yeah,
you get
at least
team.
Like a handful. Yeah,
little team doing that all the time.
What would be like the bare minimum? 5? You think every cycle 10?
5s, the 10's a bit much because they have to balance them, and it's easy to break an item.
Yeah,
and then you break a cycle with a broken item.
I'd say 5 to 7 at the most.
5 to 7. How many uniques are in PoE at this point?
5 is quite a lot. Like maybe
5
2 or
new
3.
Ones. Yeah.
Because they still have to balance them. That's 5 chances to break your cycle.
And how many uniques are in game right now?
In Path of Exile right now, there's 1,337 unique items. 1,330.
But that said, that's what, 2013, so that's 10 years of updates.
I looked up last Epoch. There's not even like, nobody knows. Nobody's counted. It's not a lot.
Yeah. Away is right. We don't want tons of just junk uniques.
Yeah.
Something that would be usable that maybe would work for, I don't know, a mechanic that is being worked out that particular cycle. So like, I'm not opposed to there being uniques that last only or only usable for a cycle. That's fine. Like it gives you something to do different than what you were doing the cycle.
You know what they could
before.
do? There's 5 classes and then 3 masteries per class. So they could do 5 uniques new every single cycle. Each class gets a unique. And that doesn't mean it's for Necro. It could be for Lich. It could be for Warlock. And then maybe almost like it's cycled. So cycle. So it's like that unique goes to Warlock. Then the next cycle, it's going to be Lich. Next cycle, it's going to be Necro. But every single class / mastery as time goes on will get something. I don't know if that's like way too structured, but
no, that's fine. And if you're doing 3 times a year, there being 3 classes each for a month long, we just figured this out for them.
So Aaron, I looked it up. I know how many there are for uniques, but they put uniques and set items in the same
that's
category.
fine.
So how many, if you're a guess, unique and set items, how many are there?
I'm going to say 120, 130.
Guilty?
200.
You're closer. It's 264.
264. 225. Lady Medusa says 75.
Denali beat us. Frodo Fragan says, hopefully EHG doesn't use cycles to nerf meta builds into unusability like PoE.
That's their that's
yeah.
Grinding
Okay.
Gears game.
I've got 2 things I want to talk about. Both came from chat. So, set items. EHG has openly admits now that set items aren't in a good place. They are more for leveling at this point.
Not even that.
I know they're terrible. And a big reason for that is because of legendaries too. So the fact that you could find a unique with legendary potential and combine it with an exalted rare makes it just that much more powerful, because you can't do that with the set item. Now, believe it or not, they actually have buffed sets over the, I think, 084 and 085, knowing that they are underpowered, and they know that they have to do more with sets. But they also don't in any way want sets to be like D3, where it's like, oh, you want to be a meteor source? Well, you find the meteor set, and now that's every meteor source uses the same set. So what they want to do is 2 things. 1, have very small sets. So like you have a set of rings or like a
1
boot,
or 2, yeah.
boot,
accessories,
like,
and
or have
weapons.
large sets where it's like 6 items, but the bonus is only for 2 items. So you could pick, I want to use the helmet and the boots.
That's what Torchlight 2 does. And
I get that set mechanic, or I take the weapon and the relic, or the catalyst and the gloves. So that way, you know, you could still get that set bonus.
Mix and match.
But you can mix and match, so it doesn't, so it gives you a lot you could do with your build, which I think both are really smart. Like, I think that's
currently their sets don't do anything that I want to use them for anyway.
No, they're real basic. They're kind of old school. It's like early game characters, like the new characters versus the rogue, and just the style and the way they're built. They're just kind of feel boring. They could.
Like, the only reason I pick them up is because they're green.
Yeah, I pick them up because they go bling.
It's like, oh, it's not the same color as that other thing I pick up.
You know what they could do?
Exactly.
They could do forget legendary potential for sets. Because that would be, I feel like that would be lame. It's like, oh, now you could get a legendary set item. I think that's lame. Like, leave that for uniques. But maybe
you do it. You just give a different kind of set thing, though.
Maybe like Diablo 3, they could rebalance all the sets and then have a ancient version of the set or a primal version of the set. So it's like,
what
hey,
D3 did, yeah.
the set drops 2 ways, 3 ways, 4 ways. And it's like, dude, like, what kind of set do you have? Oh, well, I'm rocking the platinum set. Dude, you found 2 tier 4 set items, you know?
Right.
Like, maybe they have tiers within sets and then legendary potential.
It's like, can we get a set that removes minions from the game for everyone? And please, nothing from D3. Thank you.
No.
You can't talk. You play your minion dwarf guy.
Yeah, you play Moto.
Yeah, Moto.
So he's talking about this game. It's perfectly fine to play minions in a single player game.
Obviously.
Yep.
I think the trick, this is Denali in chat, I think the trick to sets is make them so unique that they create their own weird build, like the squirrel build. If after 3 tunes you happen to assemble it, bam, you got something new to go make.
Well, they did the new builds with the uniques that, like, Daft's working on one now. He got the weapon.
Yeah,
something he's never done, and that's an example of how a cycle weapon can work.
Well, yeah, I mean, Wrath set is needed for a powerful version of Shatter Strike. If you want to make electric meteor, you have to take the electric staff that converts it. So there is like a handful. There's a handful of items that are okay sets, but obviously they are unbelievably underpowered.
Kuden, what about potential adding them as a base where the set bonus replaces the implicit on gear?
Could be a thing.
What about a potential adding them as a base where the set bonus replaces the implicit on gear? That would be extremely unique.
Maybe,
and that would have to restructure the entire sets that are currently in the game too. Granted, they want to refresh them.
They need to do that anyway. So,
or you can break, or specifically instead of uniques and stuff where you can't craft them, you can break down set pieces and then craft with them into your pieces. That would make it different. They could have to be very specific and very, not in the game already. So,
Shammy asked the 8-ball if sets are good in last Epoch, and the answer was, I won't recommend it.
I mean, there's a lot of things. It just depends on what 11th Hour wants to do. And they seem like kind of like this is the lost sheep right now of all the items or ideas they have. They're like, I mean, I doubt we're doing the set piece. We don't know what we're doing. Just don't talk about it.
Yeah, well, you know what? That the fact that they're not working on them currently, really, like maybe they are, but they're not really making that apparent to us. They're not saying, hey, we're reworking set items.
Right.
They're working on things that technically a lot of people want to play. No one is actually going to them right now and saying, hey, we work set. They're asking for other things, and some of those things are getting worked on. So good for them.
Yeah. By the way, DK77, welcome to the podcast. Hello. At Aaron, that way all would play the same classes each cycle. He's talking about if each mastery got a unique each cycle, it would push the player base always to play that new unique.
Sure.
So I can see how that would be a problem.
I mean, yeah, people that want the new shiny, but I will never.
I like shiny stuff.
So. Like I did his Fire Necro once, and it's fun, but.
Hey, Daft, I got a quick question for you.
What's up?
I know you started a necromancer. Maybe it was focused around fire. I'm just wondering how that leveling experience went.
Oh, I leveled to 66 this morning. I started it yesterday.
Not bad.
You probably didn't even need a leveling guide. You probably just...
No, I've played
from memory
like 100 times, like just hundreds of the acolyte specifically. Yeah.
Eway says it's called the meta.
Easy.
There is no escape from it, and that's true. Anytime you make a system, there's going to be a way to exploit said system.
Yeah.
I like the idea of littler sets or bigger sets, and you could pick a few, which is what they want to do. But graded tiers of sets. Just that's my piece.
We could get rid of sets altogether since I don't use them now, and it would not change the game for me.
Okay, listen.
An iota.
Listen, Guilty.
They would have to do
Green is
something
my favorite color. You don't
Well, they could
try
make
and get rid
the
of
legendary turn green.
it. My wife says this is my like Idaho outfit.
Is that your Idaho outfit?
My Idaho outfit.
I do see sprouting potato in the back.
I mean, this is my Florida outfit now, so
I guess that could be it.
my Bruce Campbell outfit.
Kellyanne says he agrees with that. Yes. Okay, second thing I want to talk about. I said there was two things.
Right. Correct, Kellyanne. And if they just take him out of the game, I won't care.
I was like, I want to talk about two things, and we talked about sets for so long, I forgot what I wanted to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about that someone else brought up in chat is ladders. So ladders. So EHG wants to have lots of ladders. And I really don't. They haven't like indulged us on what that means, but for sure it's going to be a hardcore ladder, softcore ladder. First one to reach this boss, first one to reach this corruption. Who can push the farthest in the arena? Who could kill a Shade of Oribus? Like, they want to have lots. So, like, you can log into like the ladder menu, click on which ladder you want to see where you're ranked on, and it, you know, ranks you obviously accordingly. So, whoever asked about ladders earlier, just know that that will be
That's
something
been
they've talked about.
Yeah.
And I think that should be cool. By the way, one game that does ladders terribly, Shammy, Torchlight's version of ladders is pathetic. It is so bad. And it's only focused on who can level the fastest. Oh, it's the worst ladder I've ever seen.
There was a typo in what you put. Just retype that. Minus the K.
Wait, did you guys already read what Denali said? Yeah, no time for sets because the logo needs redesigning.
Right. Back to your tables and get to your design. Come on, guys.
Now, when stuff like this comes up, because believe it or not, Mike does take these questions. Like, why the hell is the team focusing on logos? And I know we're all just joking around, but it's normally like Mike goes, well, believe it or not, a team of 110 people can work on multiple things at the same time.
Correct. But they could also work on the other thing and get it done faster.
That's true. By the way, the build I'm working on right now is something new. I'm working on a fire and ice necromancer that I got some ideas from Gemma inside of Torchlight. So I'm talking crap about Torchlight, but I
think they're no longer working agile because of that statement. Remember, we were talking about agile workplace environments, and he would not break down how they worked at agile. Because I don't think they are any longer, or at least to an extent aren't, because in an agile working environment, if something needed to be done, people who may not be proficient in it would still be working on it. They have to learn it as they go.
Yeah.
Right.
In this particular case, they seem to be working like a AAA company. Like, oh, this guy does this, that does that. I don't think they're doing agile work anymore. They're doing remote work. But that statement makes me think it's no longer agile.
Okay. This is great.
Very possible.
Moving on to our next topic, and I love this topic because the chat, I can never keep up with the chat when we discuss this. There's no giveaway today. You're all so greedy. Jeez. No, I'm just kidding. The next topic, and by the way, hey guys, I thought about it. I'm going to rip this part of the podcast for a YouTube video because a lot of people were like, Aaron, the trade survey, we want to see what you would pick. So we're going to do a trade survey
Blinding.
together right now.
So we already talked about this. Was it in a Patreon?
Bam.
Yeah.
Boondaba.
Yeah. We told
yeah.
Patreon how we voted, but we can show you.
Here we go. Last Epoch trade survey. Greetings,
God, this
travelers.
Is so bright.
I know it is bright. We want to address the feedback we're seeing that many of you are disappointed about trade in Last Epoch being limited to item gifting. I do like in here one specific word, I guess a couple of words. We're incorrect when we concluded that there wasn't more expansive trade system that could both satisfy people who want trade and not overshadow drops and crafting. So let's go down
the link.
here.
Here's the link for the
my
form.
eyes. Oh, Lady Medusa, turn a light on. Okay. All right, ready, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about the prospect of Last Epoch having more open trading and being balanced around its presence? I would strongly prefer it and use trade extensively. This is what I voted for. All right, hold on.
Same Z's.
Hold on. Daft, what is your thought?
4.
4? I don't mind either way, but I would use trade if it was there.
Switzerland's.
You know, and I'm not saying, and I'm not voting the top one because it's like, I need a PoE player-driven economy. I know that's what Guilty wants, and that is fine. I am just saying that
I wanted to form whatever it will be organically without them trying to engineer it.
I am saying I strongly prefer games with trade, and I would use it extensively, especially if I could give stuff to people. Okay? Who doesn't use the dark mode extension on their browser? I think I have dark mode
extension. This particular thing shows up.
You can see it.
Dark mode as well.
You can see it literally right here in the corner. There is dark mode extension. Gosh, what do you think this is? Amateur hour?
This particular survey is ignoring it.
Yeah, this survey overrides it because they want you really
Somehow.
focused.
I know.
Okay. Krellian says, I'm with Daft on this question. Okay. Question number 2. If Last Epoch were to have trade, what aspect of it would be most important to you? Deterministic, acquire specific unique items or items with specific rare modifiers. 2, deterministic, to keep getting better gear without having to rely on RNG to find it. Be able to get value
number 2
out of great items I find but cannot use. To interact with a live player economy. To directly interact with other players. Other. Daft, what did you vote? You picked this one.
I think I picked to be able to get a... No, I picked the third one.
To be able to get value out of great
fine.
items.
Oh, because you can just sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put them on the market and, and use it for something you might want. That's actually a good. That's good too. I wish they would have been able to allow us to select multiple, because there are more. That's another good reason.
Yep.
I selected the second one because I think if you rely on RNG to do what you're doing every cycle, the guy up front that picks up the great axe that everyone's going for,
that
no one else can get, RNG just dictated the way that entire cycle went.
Well, gentlemen, our minds are aligned. I also selected to be able to get value out of great items I find but cannot use. And this has been my big argument, is you find that bastion of honor with 4 legendary potential, and you only play... What's a class that would know? Necromancer! And that item will never be on your Necromancer. Actually, I would put that on my Necromancer if I found it. Anyways.
You did. It was on your Necromancer.
It was on it for a long time.
Flav clock on there.
And it goes from, I want to give it to Daft, to it's going to sit in my stash forever. It goes from a good feeling to a terrible feeling.
Trash.
Vegas wants it. Okay. Next question. How important for you is being able to trade with friends compared to being able to trade with strangers?
Lady Medusa already did the survey.
Survey done. Good. It's only important to be able to trade with strangers. Being able to trade with strangers is more important. Being able to trade with friends is more important. It's only important to be able to trade with friends. I don't care who I trade with as long as I can trade. Guilty.
Sir.
Which one?
So I want to be able to trade with everybody.
Okay, so you picked the last one. I don't care.
Unrestricted. Yeah. Well, I didn't pick that one. I did say it was more important to be able to trade with strangers.
Okay.
Because currently, right now, we have the not trade, the gifting, which is a form of trade if you use Discord to barter. You see, I'm already...
Daft, where did you go?
That's the dynamic.
Trade with friends? Daft pick trade with friends. I knew it. I don't care who I trade with as long as I can trade. Now, there's a reason for this. I don't like the idea of like, I'm streaming, something falls, I don't need it. Someone's watching the stream and they're like, dude, I'll take that. And then it's like, okay, now I got to add you to my friends list because we have to be friends. You know, it's just like, it seems like a silly step that you can only trade with friends. Like, I don't know.
The current dynamic we're doing is, hey, like for instance, you wanted the magic thing from Emperor of Corpses.
Dragon Flame Edict.
Dragon Flame Edict. The dynamic that we came up with from their mechanic was we all got in Discord outside of their game anyway because they can't tell me what to do.
That's right. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, just stop doing that, EHG, please. And we said we'll run this with and give it to you, and we did that on a third-party website because that's the way it works.
Hey, Lady Medusa, are you talking about in game for Last Epoch?
I don't know if there's I have no idea. It's a good question.
I have like 5 or 6 right now.
Anyway, Necro with the shield, blah. If it was a Bastion with 4 legendary potential, I could just put. You could put minion health, you could put regular health, you could actually you could make it amazing. Anyways, stupid question. What do you think will be the currency for buying/selling on trade with on LE? I don't think they're ever going to do a player-driven economy. That is my personal opinion. I think we get trade where it's like you'll be able to trade with anybody. I think it's going to be anyone on your friends list you could openly trade, or anyone in your clan you can openly trade. I think that's what they're going to do. That being said, if it was a currency based, I think it's going to be the glyphs and the trading material that is rare. So like the mirror, the glyph of despairs, those style will be the currency, and the mirror will likely pop to the top because those are super rare.
Right.
They're useful too.
Next question. Go ahead, Guilty.
We've already made a by just talking in Discord and trading that way and working it out that way. Even though we have to do an extra step and run it together, that's part of the economy now.
I will say, if it's trade only with friends,
that's what they don't understand.
If it's trade only with friends and you're only allowed like 30 friends, now it's going to be like, I got to kick this friend and add Lady Medusa so I can give her the stupid B sword and then kick her out to put the friend back on. Like, that just seems ridiculous. Just kidding, Lady Medusa. We'd be friends already. You were a bad example.
Done, for instance, you can run empowered content, correct, Aaron?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say someone can't run empowered content yet, and they want to go and farm a drop from a boss that they can't really beat on their own. And they needed to be able to make their set so that eventually they'll, maybe soon after, they'll be able to do that on their own. They just get your PayPal and you run them through it. Like, there's nothing they can do to stop it. The fact that they're trying to like do little workarounds to, it doesn't work. Nature finds a way.
Jurassic Park. That weapon ain't dumb. I know Lady Medusa's bad example. You're the best. Wait, that means they need to make glyphs and affixes tradable. OMG, that's going to break the game. Glyphs and affixes will be tradable. Just FYI. They have said forever that they are items, and items need to be able to be traded. That's coming. That's fine. I won't trade his armor on March 9th. Oh.
Lady Medusa, remember, that goes to Rich, so Rich can sell it.
Oh.
Yes.
And so Rich is going to go and record himself selling it.
Moving on to the next question. How important is player interaction? Joining the same zone as another player and bartering with them to trade. I strongly prefer trade with player interaction. I slightly prefer trade with player interaction. I slightly prefer trade without player interaction. I strongly prefer trade without player interaction. I prefer trade with player interaction, but only if the player are never bots. That's, of course, like, who wants to deal with bots?
Who's okay with the bot?
No, I want bots. I prefer trade with player interaction, but only if the player are always bots. I have no preference regarding player interaction. I'm going to guess guilty. I don't know what you guys picked. I know what I picked. Daft, what's your pick?
I don't care about player interaction.
Yeah, I think I did the third one.
I
don't really
am
care to have to do that.
I am a fourth one. I strongly prefer trade without player interaction. I don't want to. All right, guilty has what I want. Let me copy.
Go to his house.
Paste. Hey, are you on? Oh, you're taking a piss. All right, when are you gonna be back? You're not coming back. Well, I'm gonna wait in your hideout until it comes. Oh, you're not in the hideout. Great. Oh, it's sold already. Did you? Who bought it? I hate player interaction.
It's just
housekeeping. You got that, Bastion?
Housekeeping. You want me fluff pillow? Anyways, and that's again, like, this is kind of a loaded question because if I am playing with Guilty and Daft, well, of course there's going to be player interaction because they're just going to gift it to me, right? But if you're talking about a trade system with an auction house or a trade house or a bazaar, having an item for sale, being able to purchase it and instantly get it, that's how it should be.
So anyway, that one. That was a weird question for me. I was like, eh.
As a buyer, how important is instantly receiving the item to your enjoyment of trading? It's extremely important. It is important. Receiving the item instantly is not a significant factor in my enjoyment. Now, this question a lot of people think is stupid. And
I thought about why they asked it.
Do you know why they asked it?
For flipping. Because you can.
That's one of the things I thought about. They don't want you to be able to flip it back and forth to make profit. They don't want you to day trade.
You're kind of correct. This question is about auction house. This is an auction house question, is what it is. Because, Undecember uses an auction house. Torchlight Infinite uses a trade house. And obviously, most people know how PoE is. So, for me, I put it's extremely important that the item is received immediately.
Correct. Yeah, I paid it, put it in my hand. I'm not. This is not mail order.
Give me those. I got these cheeseburgers, man.
It's not Amazon Prime where I wait 2 days. This is not going to work. And stop trying to be the SEC EHG.
There is value if you are a hardcore trader in an auction house setting, because it's like this item, like, the eBay setting. Like, dude, this thing is way more valuable. No one's bid it. But then it also sucks because it's like, how many other people have noticed? And then it's a minute left. And then in that last minute, it gets 400 bids and you're trying to get it. And then the time runs out. Like, no, don't like auction house. Yeah,
I don't have time for that.
I don't like auction house.
No.
Get rid of it.
WoW. Oh.
Lady Medusa agrees on without interaction.
Yep.
Lady Medusa is a PoE player. And
she is a PoE player. See, she's sick of it.
One of these times that a PoE league happens where there's not a game we're playing, we should probably hop in there.
Yep.
And watch Aaron give up his entire life to the trade. Oh yeah, E-Waste, it reminds me of Lost Ark trades. Hates.
My daughter needs me to open the marinara. Okay, this is important. What if I'm not gonna be able to do it? Oh, the father's job.
Nina will be able to do it. Just give it to her.
It's complete, dude. This marinara, by the way, bomb. Sorry.
You don't make your own marinara?
You want to say hi or no?
Make it.
Yeah. I was about to say, Daft and I make our own marinara.
My daughter said she's trying to get me a sponsorship. So for the marinara.
Well, she's
good job.
I'm glad I said I'm going to post this on YouTube. Perfect. Perfect. Next question.
Sauce from New York.
How important is being able to buy all types of items?
Hit the bottom of the jar.
At the bottom.
Hit the bottom. Weapons, items, idols, relics to your enjoyment of trading. It is essential to my enjoyment. It is fairly important. It is important to my enjoyment. It is not important. I would prefer some items not to be traded. This is an interesting question because I know a lot of people feel certain ways about it. Daft, do you want to be able to trade everything?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Thunderdome.
Personally.
I'm 100%.
Let the community
I don't know
form
if any
the market.
Second time we're all on the same page. It is essential
are
to everything.
Armor pieces, they're all important. Rings are rings. I mean,
so, Naked America says no idols.
So idols are interesting because they're hard to get.
Certain ones are very hard.
If you're trying to get a life idol with a good roll, that's like almost the hardest thing to find.
It's probably going to be super expensive too, so I'm absolutely fine with it going on the market.
Maybe if it was just on those idols, it was limited to class ones, and then everything else you couldn't trade.
Powerful
or
chamois.
You switch
it's
it around.
Essential.
You don't let you can't trade the class level ones, but you could trade the generic standard ones.
Trade them all. Let people charge whatever they want.
Right.
Whatever they want. Let's go ridiculous numbers. Let's.
I mean, for the idols, you can go for the high roll ones, right? You can get the max roll for the basic idols. That's fine. Those are the only ones I usually pick up. But you can't really loot filter that. You guys should fix that. We should be able to tier our loot filter a little better.
I will say it's weird. The examples they threw up the examples: weapons, idols, and relics. That is really an odd 3 choice, and I know it's just their example, but like if you said you can't trade weapons, it would be like, why? That is dumb. Like that doesn't make any sense. Idols, I can understand.
Aaron, read that. Berserk 9 has a fair critique.
Berserk, I like being able to trade anything, but I don't want it to be like Diablo 2, where all anyone wants for an item is high runes. And if your RNG is terrible, you'll never be able to afford certain things. Yeah, I mean, obviously,
way around that.
Yeah, you got to get those. You got to get those SOJs.
You can also that's the thing. You can make friends, like, because they're talking guild. So someone in the guild would be like, hey, I need some chaos. Can someone help me without chaos orbs? PoE style, and someone would give you the thing you need to kick it off. And then from there you can, work the market yourself. It is a fun part of playing games.
Dude, I could tell you what's going to be valuable. Tier 7 movement speed. Any item that has tier 7 hybrid health that still has crafting and forging potential. Tier 7 skills, so like skeleton mage, or because that's going to give you plus to skills like that. Those affixes rolled on exalted will be valuable. And again, I think uncrafted, right? Like forging potential 44 with that tier 7, very valuable. If your RNG is terrible, you'll never find the item you want to buy. But you can trade up to it.
That was my that's the reason I picked the second one in the survey.
That is true.
Because RNG is not the thing you should build your cycle on.
Next question: how important is being able to buy all rarities to your enjoyment of trading?
Yeah, it's essential. I want to be able to buy the most shiny thing on earth if I can afford it. And if I can afford it, that means I did some gameplay to get
But here's the thing. Like, and again, this is just me talking. If they said, hey, idols untradeable and legendary, so like a crafted, unique exalt combination are untradeable, I wouldn't be upset. I'd be like, okay, I wish everything could be tradable, but I do get where they come from. Because you could just buy, I mean, even in that situation, if they said, hey, you can't trade a legendary. Yeah, but you could trade and get the unique with legendary potential, and you could trade and get the exalted. So then literally all it is just you putting them together. So I don't know. Come to think of it, I need to open up my loot filter so I don't miss any other classes' valuable stuff. Dude, Iwe, our minds are connected. I was already thinking about that. I was like, I wonder how much good crap I leave on the ground because of my loot.
Aaron,
at the moment,
you
build
it right. You don't need to worry about it. You put everything, like I have mine, so like the 3/4 of the bottom of my loot filter is specific to the class. the last top part, the last quarter is everything that I up there. I put critical strike chance avoidance. I put the hybrid healths up there. So anything I see that's green, I pick up. It's just I'm gonna break that down or I'm gonna wear it. It's one or the other. And
so
I've been
for
able to
this
get a
question,
lot of the health ones from that.
For this question, I put fairly important because I am okay if legendaries are not tradable. That's like my one, like, okay, like.
You mean after created?
So you have found a unique with legendary potential. You found an exalted item. You have combined it by going through Julra.
Okay.
That is now.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
If that, I'll accept that. Although, again, I would also accept being able to buy legendaries. They would just cost a crap ton of currency.
I don't think the community would be happy though. They'd be like, "Why?"
Then you'd have your grindy players with tons of money getting
people that
everything.
can't play for 1,000 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just saying
that's why
you're going to create like the class gap. All of a sudden, the all timers that play and get billions of dollars and they can afford all the items, so they start buying all the high legendary gear with all the potential.
Yeah,
I could see that creates a divide. So the players who aren't full timers, who aren't doing that dedication, are just going to be left flowing in the river without a.
Who cares what others can afford though? Question mark. Wrath says,
right,
if you have crafted
mind your own business and
or equipped, then it's account bound. I'm okay with
ladders.
Got a good,
if you have ladders and stuff, people on the ladders are going to care.
What currency?
Aaron, you got an answer for Akuden. Yeah.
What currency would be used to make it a PoE economy? It'd be glyphs. It would be the mirror. It would be the glyph of despair.
Yeah.
It would be those. It would be those gold. I think they're gold or brownish.
It's like a gold color.
Yeah.
But like Lexa was like, why would you care about what others buy? If you don't have like if it's not like Diablo Immortal type levels of nonsense, it's fine. And I understand they don't want a third-party website where you can go to say buy currency in the game.
Right.
And that's unfortunate that we're at a state where we can do that on our own. And as long as they have a currency that's tradable, there's always going to be someone that's going to do that.
That's true. How important is being able to sell any item you find for your enjoyment? Any item I find being tradable is essential to my enjoyment.
Right. Stop impeding the market.
Some of these questions are the same. I will say.
Yes, slightly worded differently. Yeah.
I know they're all the same thing, but maybe that's what they're trying to see is like, are people answering the different questions the same way?
Yeah.
It's like the interview questions. They try to catch you. I put any item I find should be tradable because you're not going to find a legendary item. So for me, anything that drops, including shards.
Right.
Daft is trying to
tradable.
Daft is trying to get Bone Golem. He doesn't have the shards for it. Here you go.
Yep.
You're not going to find like, and it's like for instance, you find a 4 LP item and you sell it. Let's say it's a 4 LP item for something you're not going to use because, like me, we just won't play certain classes.
Right.
You should be able to sell that.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot how long this survey is.
It's a lot of similar questions.
Let's shotgun through some of these. How important is being able to buy and sell the most powerful items in the game for your enjoyment?
Super. That number one. Yes.
You put number one?
Yeah, of course.
Again, only because I'm okay with legendaries not being tradable, I picked number 2.
I mean, I'm fine with that too. I'm also fine with people paying copious amounts of money for them. Like,
I think I picked 3, but I might have picked 2. I don't remember this one. That was somewhere in between 2 and 3.
But honestly, I don't even care.
Really care
if they did trade legend. I mean,
because
the more trade, the better. So I don't care if you can trade legendaries. I'm just saying I would be okay if you couldn't. That's all I'm saying.
Like, so even if you get the big shiny legendary, it may not be rolled the best. So
I want people to go
you might have
bankrupt
to buy
buying my
another
item.
or find another one, make another one, whatever.
Oh, Evan Burt.
But I will say, like, think about it. Let's say you have a legendary potential 3.
Yes.
Let's say you have a legendary potential 3. And then you go to put your exalted.
I have a 4, which is better than 3.
That's true. And then you go put on your exalted tier 7 affix. And the 3 bad affixes transfer and you don't get your tier 7 on your item. That's going to happen. And you're going to want to dump that item. And then somebody that has 1 legendary potential is going to be able to get that tier 7 affix to move over. And in that instance, that would be a much better item. So, like, I mean, there's tons of RNG in that system. So, for sure. It's so funny. I say, let's shotgun through this. And now I'm talking about
There's so much to talk about this issue.
How important is being able to trade at early level? Oh, these are fast ones.
So this is one where I was like, I'm okay with not trading early level. End game trading, it's fine for me.
So I will say, and again, I understand why people feel against this. I like being able to help a brother or a sister out. And I'm going to pick, this is essential because I want to give that new player. Here is Reach of the Grave, which is a level 5 unique.
Yeah.
You could have it, and this is going to make your experience playing Last Epoch much better. I don't care what anyone says. You could still learn the game. You could still level up that single item. You're going to have a better time. I don't know. Maybe you need to struggle, but I'm too nice.
So I struggled trying to find Reach of the Grave when I was doing your Fire Necro.
Yeah.
For some reason, it wouldn't drop. And then I was like level 40, it dropped.
Yeah.
It's like,
we are helping our brothers to the end of time anyways. That is true. I went from level 1 into the monolith, and I have never played a quest. I've never played a quest. So I guess that's true.
Level 5.
So who cares?
Welcome to level 5. Yeah, I do like being able to skip the entire story currently by just going into the end of time with a friend.
I mean, if they never change that, if you don't care about the free passives and the idle slots, you will never have to play a mission ever. Never.
You can go back and get those though, right?
It could be, hey, I'm going to start the new cycle day 3. So day 3 is my new cycle. Oh, Daft, you're playing. Teleport to him in the monolith. That's it. You never have to play it ever. Ever.
Do you have to do most of the things to set up those skills?
Right,
you have to go through a lot of the campaign.
Right. Here's a hypothetical. You come home from work, your friends are playing, you're just downloaded the game. They're you and let's say Rich, and you're running stupid and powered. They bring you along. So you go instantly to end of time. You get super powered. You're probably level 30 at the end of dying a bunch of times. And then you go back and run through whatever part of the campaign on your own. You were able to play the game with others. So fun was not impeded there. And you were able to play on your own and still progress.
You know what would be even crazier? If keys were tradable. Because if keys were tradable, now not only can you go level 1 to level 90, you can also skip the campaign through the dungeons. Actually, what am I talking about? You don't even need keys.
It's like a whistle.
Keys drop in the monolith. So you could just jump with your friends to the monolith, wait for your keys to drop, pick up the damn keys, then jump the campaign through the dungeon. You don't ever have to do it. And Daft, just so you're aware, my level 1 character, once I hit level 25, the mastery just was there. I just got my mastery. I didn't have to do anything in the end of time.
You don't even have to run through the thing.
You don't have to do anything.
When you did the other way? Okay. You know what they could do with the dungeons if you're skipping? They could add in the dungeon spots where you get the skill points that you would have gotten in that chapter. Like in the maps. So let's say you get 5 throughout the maps. They could seed those inside the dungeon. You can't get them both. You can't double up. But if you get here, they're gone here. But if you don't pick them up in the campaign, you can pick them up in the dungeon. So you could use the dungeon to actually skip and get the things instead of having to go through the campaign.
So I'm fine with the campaign existing just to get those extra passives and the idle slots.
Yeah.
But the dungeons pop you out at those points. So that's like the whole idea is that you skip to the important stuff. Yeah, you never have to play the campaign ever again. Ever again.
So we've talked. Like,
we're not talking about the campaign. We're talking about trading
with no campaign. That'd be great. Now, moving on to the survey.
Moving on. How important is being able to trade 31 through 60? This is the same vein. It is essential because I want to help people out at any point. How important is the seller gaining the full amount paid by the buyer to your enjoyment and trading? This is the Torchlight Infinite tax.
Do not tax me. Taxation is theft.
I agree. The seller gaining the full amount paid by the buyer is essential to my enjoyment. What did you put on this one, Daft?
I think I picked the first one.
Good.
So I didn't think I'd be doing trading. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Most trading will be with you guys, so won't matter.
I don't want them taking my stuff. Dude, by the way, in Torchlight Infinite, I sold an item for 1 FE and they taxed me 1 FE. I should have screenshotted it. So I got 0. It said claim your reward 0. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there must be
wrong, Shammy. Taxes that objectively wrong. No.
I was like, there must be something in the system where like you can't possibly take it to 0. No. Torchlight Infinite will tax you where you get 0. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, there should be at least
get nothing.
Some like minimum percentage.
Unbelievable. Tax is great. Thanks, Shammy. Torchlight. How important is being able to craft on items?
It's absolutely awful.
After you receive them from a trade. So this is what Wrath was saying in chat. Hey, the second you equip the item, the second you craft on the item, it can no longer be traded. You can't just, hey, I crafted on this item. I've been using it for a month. Now I finally found an upgrade and now I could dump that item, right? Tax is awful. It is awful. Should you be able to craft on items? Now, no. But as of right now, I can craft anything.
Right.
And I could gift it to either of you if we were playing together. And they updated it. So technically, I could craft on it and then be like, oh, I'm out of hybrid health. Send it to Daft. Then he could craft on it. Then send it back to me. Then I could turn it into a legendary. Right. And then like I could send it back to him again.
Oh my goodness. That's almost like the exact way a community works where like, I don't know all the stuff. I have to go to someone that knows the thing I don't know. Like the way people work, and you go to the guy that knows the thing you don't know, and then he goes to the guy that doesn't know how to do the thing he knows, and it's a web, it's a neural net.
I put it's essential for my enjoyment
because it is.
It just it limits so much. Like, I don't know. There's sometimes an item looks amazing and then it's crap, and then another item where it looks like crap and you turn it to amazing. And I like the idea of like it had 40 legendary potential on it, or forging potential, and I got 2 of the main affixes to tier 5, and now I'm gonna put it on the market because I don't know what the person that wants to buy it can use it for, or I don't know.
I mean, I picked the same thing, but it's like if you're just picking up items and not even doing anything to them and then trading them, well, then the buyer is getting crappy items that the player didn't want. So if you can't craft on them afterwards, what's the point?
Exactly.
Why would you buy it?
Yes.
Why would you buy a crap item that you're going to get as a drop? So it didn't make sense.
Shammy says, I forgot. Don't forget to claim the maintenance primos in Torchlight.
Yeah. Also, my 20,000 primos are in my mail or whatever.
Yeah.
Buy with that. I just came up with a brilliant idea. What if there was a trade tax, but it went into the pot that was given to the winner of the event?
Free parking.
Winner of the ladders. That's a good idea. No, because then it's like the people that don't need it are going to be the people that are going to get it. I don't like that idea.
Theft. The money that they take from you always goes to the wrong person. No.
Not ladders, because that would be the super grinders.
Yeah, people who had the money to like grind. Because
Two
at some
left.
point's going to come into it.
Two left.
Two left.
Yep.
Got this.
How important is being able to craft
10%.
on an item before trading them to someone? Wait a second. What the hell was the last question?
The last one, I put a 10%
To be able
reduction.
to craft on something you buy.
Oh yeah, that is unbelievably essential. How important is it to then craft and then put it on? Unbelievably essential.
That's
What do you think,
point.
Daft?
You are a craftsman.
Yeah, I picked the first one. I was like, yeah, it's fine if I craft on it and
It's like
don't like the roll. I can put it up, and somebody else can finish it.
the role I've taken in the community is being an armorer, and I cannot do that now because you've impeded that with your nonsense rules.
Your immersion.
Okay.
Yeah.
This has been great. The final question, and honestly, the most important question. So, you now have, in my opinion, this survey represents we need to bring trade to the game. We miscalculated the community's reaction. We have always aligned ourselves as a studio that takes community feedback as important as anything else. And in my experience, I don't know if there has been a stronger reaction in the studio's history ever. That being said, if they grant us trade, they will reduce drop rates. Whether you like it or not, that's going to happen. What reduction are you willing to give
10.
up?
I put
10?
10%. I put 10.
I put 40% up to.
I think Aaron put 60, didn't you?
I put 50.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's close.
I put 50. Naked
like,
America
okay.
said 90. Bert said 90. Lady Medusa said
Lady
20.
Medusa and I are close. I'm like, leave us alone.
Guilty, really? Question mark. Guilty wants a 10% reduction with being
that's
able
fine.
to trade everything.
It was going to be a 0, and I was like,
70%, it's okay. 50%. If they keep current trade, my role on PoE will be RMT Farmer. They should put up Trade House so I won't become RMT Farmer. I put 60 as it's reasonable. I put 50. I thought 50 is reasonable. Right in the middle.
So I'm having a hard time finding the things I'm looking for, and at the time I was not finding any of the stuff I was looking for until I got really, really lucky with that 4LP. So when I got the 4LP,
but that's
I
the whole
started
point,
rethinking
Guilty, is that you're not finding the exact item you need, but you have found valuable items, which means you could just convert that valuable item now into the valuable item you want. That's what makes it.
I found a lot of stuff that's not like that you would find anyway. I have found stuff with 1 LP. I found 2 things with 2 LP now, and then the 1 thing with 4 LP.
And I think this is one of the dials that can be changed after. So changing an entire mechanic, like, oh, we're removing trade, we're putting trade in, you now can't trade legendary. Like, once the system's in, that's going to be hard to change. But saying, hey, we're going to do a drop rate reduction of 40%, 50%, 60%.
Naked America says grind more. No.
And if that number is wrong, whether it's too much or too little, it'll be really easy to turn it down or turn it up. So, that's why I just went right in the middle. That's why I just went right.
But so the thing is, Aaron has played this game. What, you're almost about to hit 2,000 hours, right?
No. I'm 1,500 hours.
Okay. So you're 1,000-ish hours more than me. Dath is like 2,000-ish hours, but a little bit more than me. And I found a 4LP. Have you ever found a 4LP?
No.
Yeah.
Then they don't need to touch this at all.
I found 3s.
I have found probably 50 3s. Just to be honest, I've never found a 4. Never.
Nope. Usually get 1s or 3s, not too many 2s.
So like, I found 1 4LP. Exactly. It's probably going to be the only 4LP I ever find, and it was in CC. I wasted it.
Yeah, I'm glad I haven't found any yet.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I have to read. By the way, this concludes the trade survey. Yeah, that's gonna be a long YouTube video. Aura Battler. Oh, by the way, at Aaron and panel, I logged into Lost Ark last night for the first time in about a year, and I was made the guild leader for your guild. Well, that's because you're so good. Congratulations, it's now your guild. You can name it Aura Battler. You can name it whatever you want, because I'm never logging in to that game again. It's yours. Consider it written. Consider it done. Eways never find an LP4. Vegas has found one.
Yeah, that's why I was like, 10. Like, I found it, and it's like,
hey, all.
It was 0. It was a 0 for me.
Oh, time for a quick rant. Raylith. Grim Dawn is a great example of free trade. Diablo in group trade is restricted trade, but you live with its fair. But you live with its fair. You got that time window. Even after leaving group. Oh, yes, you got the time. You got the couple hours. Either is fair and reasonable. You craft on an item. It's yours. Otherwise, go grind to get your goodies. Back to work. Have fun.
Yeah, I thank you for selecting Grim Dawn. It is unrestricted trade.
Yeah.
You just go and drop the thing on the floor. You can meet up in Discord, and it's a third-party website because nature finds a way. And that's how you trade.
By the way, legendary potential 3s. I found 5 fighting chance. Those stupid gloves.
Right.
5 LP3s.
That's horrible.
I don't know what it is about that item. I always find that item.
Maybe that'll be like a build, you have to.
They're like literally the worst gloves in the game.
They're the worst items in the game. You have to build around them.
But see, that's where it is. If I found a Reach of the Grave, legendary potential 4, that's like probably the best minion item in the whole game. Like that would be unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the skeleton arm. Do you think they're going to change that art? I don't think they should.
By the way, Reach of the Grave, when you hold it and you look at your character menu, it looks like you have 2 hands. It's really weird the way it looks.
Because it holds it, and then you can see the bottom of your hand holding it, and then the top of the skeleton, like bone with the wand part, and you can kind of they float right over each other. Yeah. I
don't like drop on the floor trading personally. Too easy to get scammed. That's like the D2, and then they teleport through the wall and grab your item. That was such an old school con.
The drop, drop on the floor is does have its negatives.
Yeah,
I like drop. I like drop on. I like drop on the floor.
I mean, I did drop on the floor, and I do for Grim Dawn.
I like drop on the floor for Super Fuse.
Super Fuse, when it gets the kinks worked out of it, is going to probably get a crap ton of my attention. I really like the comic book aesthetic, and I like the leveling system.
Yeah, I played a bit.
Epic Raid Boss Aaron, today's a special day. Want to know why? Sure.
Yeah, the beta is very rough for that Naked America.
Got some hold. Yeah. Some bits that are a little wonky.
By the way, Wisp Gaming, did you find an undisputed with 4 legendary potential? That would be unbelievable. Today's an epic day. Do you want to know why? Comes in with the Prime sub. Did your Prime sub finally end on another streamer and you just migrated it here? Because if that's what it is, that is a special day.
We'll take it.
Thank you, sir.
So there's a thing that's left on the list for the evening.
And we're not going to talk about it because that's going to be for next week. I love it because this has been the last thing on the list the last 2 weeks. And I said, hey, if we have time, we'll talk about it.
Pushed. Always.
We have time, we'll talk about it. And we don't have time. You want to see what it is? I'll just show you for a second.
Yeah, just show what it is. There's not much to talk about.
Give you a little tease. This is going to be the grinding gear game. Hey, we're going to tease the tease that's going to drop the patch. I hate it when they do that.
Multiple teases there.
GGG is the worst with tease.
Tease.
Development update January. Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem. I showed too much.
Oh,
I showed too much.
When it launches, I am going to download it and play it.
Maybe
it
I have it downloaded now. Ooh.
I don't
I don't.
because I play other games.
It's just it's
Jeff
been a
and I
minute.
play like non-ARPG games.
Yeah,
often.
I play a lot more of those than I do constant ARPGs.
I keep
I play
Grim
them in
Dawn.
bunches.
I keep
I'll play
Titan
one
Quest.
Yeah. There's a
I
rotation of them.
So
Sai,
I keep
Wolcen
on
has broken my
entertaining
heart too
D2R.
many times.
Well,
No,
yes.
no. It's great.
Oh no, it's not. It's not about the. I don't want to look at it, Kellyan. That's the way it is. I don't just keep a crap ton of games on my machine. I keep
Wolcen
the ones
is
I
gonna
want to play.
be-
That way, I don't go between 10 of them.
Okay, this is going to be my final question. Daft and Guilty. Ready?
What's up?
Think for a second before you just jump off a cliff. This is going to be logged on YouTube and on Twitch. What will have more concurrent players? Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, 48 hours after Chapter 4 release, or Last
Wait, 2
Epoch.
days after Chapter 4 releases.
Yes, or
48 hours. Oh.
090 LE multiplayer. Which one has more players?
They'll be comparable.
That's the mommy daddy answer. That's the
No, the
oh,
reason I,
don't-
say they'll be comparable
You're-
is because everyone is
No,
lost.
you
love
can't
with
say that.
Wolcen.
That's the
I
both.
can.
That's the both of my kids are my favorite. Nope, that you can't
No, I
give
didn't
that
say
answer.
that. I said they'll be comparable.
Actually, that's actually kind of a dig. Okay,
I'd say probably like it's mentioned here with Naked America. The Wolcen crowd is like just a big group of fanboys that love the game for whatever reason, and that's fine. It's just a huge group, though. It's huge, 200,000+. I don't know if Last Epoch has that capacity to even have that in 48 hours, unless it's super popular. Because towards the end, with all these little like showings, people get a little excited. So I put
wanna
my
say
side
that.
on Wolcen, but I don't
wanna
want to
say
put my
mine too.
yeah.
okay. On record, Daft and Guilty said Wolcen.
No, I didn't say
On
Wolcen. I said
record.
You didn't.
they'll be comparable. But if you look at Wolcen's numbers have gone up,
Yeah.
and they were into like 150 at one point, 100.
But I will say for LE,
The announcement that 4 is coming shot that up a
Right.
little bit.
2 weeks after LE will be higher than Wolcen because they'll go through the fix and then it might impress and be cool, or it might not be, and people just leave again. So the drop-off rate, I think, is faster for Wolcen.
24-hour
to
peak.
uninstall.
Wolcen Stormfall 500.
Mm,
Oh,
Oh, get out.
that's better than 100.
that's horrible, but that's
Yeah,
better
it's-
than 100.
Replay.
Yeah.
Why can't I
It was
type?
it was like 120 or something. Not that
Currently,
long ago.
Last Epoch for their break the server event.
they had the
1200.
But
1200.
see,
Well, they peaked. Was it 2300?
Oh, Mugsley, right? Mugsy, right at the end. The reason why LE will beat Wolcen is because they are going to invest in the Zizarin and all of the big streamers. They're going to drop a check to. And
That makes
Wolcen
sense.
sure as
Yeah.
heck is not going to do
Max
that.
roll support.
And they are
Bugsy.
getting max roll support. I think LE.
Yeah.
I think LE after a couple weeks will be back up at the top. Though,
But
'cause
I
the-
will
the
say
game
that at 1.0.
feels better.
I
Not
will say
09.
that I went on record saying that they're going to have 20,000 players. And I think I'm going to reel that into 10,000. I think I'm going to reel that in.
Well, they were
For what?
expecting 10,000 for the
Yeah.
to break the server. They're like,
Break the
oh,
server.
10,000 people come break
Yeah,
the
they
server.
were expecting 10,000. They got 2230 was the peak.
Yeah.
2230.
Which
so-
is not bad. I mean, it's more than my game gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's better than it. I'd say it's probably what they expected though right now, because they're starting to get a little bit of the hype
Yeah, if
buzz
you-
with a lot of the
Ooh,
No,
showing
everyone's
more
saying
right now.
6,500 for March 9th.
6,500.
You know what? If it does hit 6,500, I won't be surprised,
I'd say
but
that
I will. Like,
tough.
I won't be overly surprised.
Flenser
I wish
says
that would happen.
5K.
ish. Yeah.
Again, even 5K for me. Like, if they hit 5K, I'll be happy for them.
Yeah, because that's
They
for
have to hit 5.
what
If
it
they don't
is.
hit 5K, oh my
The game's
gosh.
not released until 1.0, people.
right.
They have to hit
And-
5K because I mean that would be, that would be very
But
poor.
they're having to fight their
Epic Great Boss
decision.
5K as well. Okay.
Their decision with the gifting thing was like
That
a big smack for people. So they're
Really
having
hampered
to.
this.
They're going to have to get all those people back that they lost.
They
'cause
need to
right
make a statement saying,
Yeah.
sorry,
Sorry.
we
Here's the
were
survey.
wrong. We will do the thing the people that paid us money want.
Okay, everybody. 52 weeks in the books. And yes, if you guys did not know, Maxroll, a website that gets over 40 million hits a month, is adding a Last Epoch channel. And they just added Torchlight Infinite to their ARPG lineup. And I believe that this will be colored in and going live on March 9th. Okay? So I think that'll help. What did I miss? A lot of people that are waiting for 1.0 because they refuse to play early access games. That's true. And man, if it
That's-
takes, dude, I'm hoping the masteries are half done.
They won't play it because it's an early access. That's the reason they're not playing.
What they need, I'm hoping the masteries are half done and they're trolling us, and it's going to be like the next update's 1.0 and just drop the damn game. Like they need to. Probably
Would be
useless. I know, right? That's all I've got. Well, that's not
That's
true.
it.
We have another topic, but that's for next week. Thank you all for coming out. It is always a good time. Really enjoy Wednesday night. We're going to move over to our Patreon only bonus hour. And you guys didn't tell me, are we going live in Discord or are we doing our own thing?
We're doing our own thing because we can't go live yet because we
Okay.
have to set up the
Set
thing
up
to set up the thing.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We have to have two things. Two things.
All the likes,
Two
all
of
the
them.
shares, all the comments, the views, unbelievable. Every single day I'm blown away by this community. If you ever want to take it one step further and be a VIP, join the Patreon. Link is in the chat. It's the best way to support financially. Chance to win custom merch. You know the spiel. Get in the VIP
Speaking
lounge.
About merch, Mr. Daft is cooking up new designs for merch. They're coming soon.
Yes.
And Wrath, I'm sending out your hat this week. Okay, that's all we got. Daft, you get the final
Yay.
word. My finger's
Hey,
on the
guys.
button.
Excellent. Great doing this year. It's going to do another one. It was fantastic.
anniversary.
So, yeah. Cheers, guys.
Was that the end?
Good night.
Bye. Hello, hello, hello.